Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going on mute.
Okay. I'm here. Islam. What's going on?
I'm still in jail.
Well, yeah, that's a good joke for the day. Not doesn't sound good to me.
Joke. It's not the truth. It's not a joke.
Uh-huh. Tell me about it. So, anyway, I'm sorry you got disconnected last time, but we're back. So, tomorrow you're supposed to be having a hearing, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And so you pretty much got everything prepared what you want of doing?
Now, what do you mean everything prepared? What I want to do? I want to go home. That's what I want.
I got that.
What I need to have prepared.
Okay.
There's something that I should be aware of that I need to be prepared for as it relates to tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I know what I want to say.
Right.
What
Exactly.
do you recommend me say, considering you've talked to these individuals, you've provided them all the lawful proof that they had no jurisdiction, that I'm outside their jurisdiction, and they had no lawful basis for why I've been sitting here for over a year and a half. So my question is, what do you think at this point I should be discussing tomorrow?
Okay. You see the caption where I have Joseph Robinette Biden and the rest of them locked in, right?
Say it again?
On the caption of the documentation for my notice of appearance, right?
Yes.
It has Joseph Biden's name on there, right?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
aware of that, yes.
Okay. So you holding the hearing tomorrow without them being present?
So I'm saying what?
So you're going to hold a hearing tomorrow without them being present, correct?
I'm listening to what you're suggesting.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I made the attorneys, the Francis lady, Heather Hayes, a third-party defendant. She should be there tomorrow. They know that they don't have no rights to be there, right? And that your so-called attorney, standby dude, he has no rights to be there.
They don't have a right to be there, but so you're saying they're not going to be there?
You know what I'm saying is that they're holding the conference tomorrow, whatever you're having. I don't know what you're having. Okay? So I don't know your procedures there at all. But I do know about when you're holding a hearing, all parties need to be present. Okay?
Yeah.
And so if Joseph Biden is not there tomorrow, you're holding court pursuant to Article 21 of the treaty. They don't have a court. You just plug this into your phone. Yeah, and then you should be able to type.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, so, just look at it like that, because you're basically saying, hey, the reason why I'm in here is because you guys don't believe in upholding the treaty. And basically, you heard my information on that tape, right, or that recording, Faatima.
Yeah. I heard it.
That's pretty much the whole strategy for how they bypass your birthrights to get to those statutes and codes to enslave you. And that's what they're doing to everybody, bypassing the Constitution, which isn't valid anyway. But you know what I'm saying. Once the lawyers bypass your stuff, you're done. They're going to get you. That's how they got Bill Cosby and everybody else. I don't care how much money they pay, you're going to get taken one way or the other, money-wise. So that's the whole concept of how I start. They don't have law, you know that. And the statutes and codes are definitely not the truth for you. So these are the traitors you're dealing with. The traitors are trying to now hold a hearing with you to tell you, hey, okay, are we going to hold you a little bit longer or not? But your bottom line is that, like you said, they never have jurisdiction or anything, but they're just violating you. And the reason why they're violating you is because you don't have your clan set up. And so we have to attack the lawyers, but the lawyers are the ones that's destroying us. the lawyers and the judges. And that's who's going to be pretending tomorrow like, oh, we didn't do nothing. We hold in court. You need to go and tell them, okay, well, I've been locked up for a year and a half, and they have a case called Trezevant versus the city of Tampa, Florida. I don't know if you know about it. It's like a controlling case where Trezevant was riding a motorcycle in Tampa, Florida, and he got pulled over by a cop. And there, the cop can pay. You could pay the fine right there on the spot. But Trezevant and the cop didn't have the right information and stuff to do the transaction. So Trezevant, they took Trezevant to the police station. And at the police station, they had two doors, one for booking and one for payments and stuff like that. So, well, they booked Trezevant for 23 minutes. He won $25,000 for the 23 minutes he was locked up. So you got a whole day. They got calculations of that for like over $1.5 million a day. But this is intentional, so you have treble damages, see? And we're not playing. Because they have an empress up in there, knowing damn well they don't have no business doing anything with anybody on this land. And so here they are, perpetrating the fraud, using this land as theirs to enslave the indigenous people. Their game is over. See?
Right. So now we're at the part where they're trying to impose their statutes on us, and they're ignoring the treaty.
Right.
Right.
So we're not going to let that happen. Faatima, you heard me speak to the lawyer about that, right?
I'm sorry. Yes, I heard you.
Well, that's the same story. It's not going to never change.
So what are we saying tomorrow at the tribunal?
Well, I don't know how extensive you got into my work, but I know Faatima is able to see, and she's going to be there tomorrow, and she'll be able to express the facts of all the fraud that's going in. Like she said, she goes in there with two flags, and she's putting them on blast about there's no jurisdiction, there's no nothing. You actually are human traffickers. So you're going in there charging them with human trafficking because that's what they've done to you.
Right.
Yeah. And it's nothing.
We're saying I'm not going to be there in the actual building. I'll be on video.
Yeah.
Call me down to video court.
Okay.
And they're going to proceed as if they're going to, in the past, they've just tried to act as if they were doing anything, which all they were trying to do was find out, is she ready to submit to jurisdiction today?
No, they were trying to do what is?
Submit to jurisdiction.
Oh.
To determine whether I was ready to submit to jurisdiction that day. I've been to about 6. This will probably be the 7th status hearing.
Right.
Obviously, they can't get past status, so they're going to keep going with that. But there's a so-called offer on the table.
Right. The offer, everything they're doing is fraud. So when you're dealing
everything they're doing is fraud.
Yeah, so when you're charging them, like, you know, the judicial side of the Constitution, even though it's void, the country is running off of that. You're charging them with treason, high treason, pursuant to Article 3, Section 3, because you cannot use statutes and codes because you'll be giving aid and comfort to the enemy. And so that's what you're really telling them. You guys are the traitors using this stuff. Know damn well it's no good. And you know the case law for it, right, Faatima?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's just
when she goes down there, she may not be heard.
Oh.
Like we're under the presumption. You're making a presumption that they will bring her into the so-called courtroom and hear her out, even though she put a notice of appearance.
Okay.
The notice of appearance that she's my consul, right? That was put in the record last week, and it was emailed to them, right, Faatima?
Yes, it was.
So if that information was entered, they are required, have a copy of it with you when you go down there, they're required to let her in to talk on my behalf or as counsel for me, not David.
Okay.
Now, we're making the assumption that they may allow that. That document says that they are required by law to allow that. But they may sit here and act stupid and belligerent when she goes down there, so she might not even be able to enter the building, or she might enter before after they have their little wannabe so-called whatever with me.
Uh-huh.
Now, when I'm on the things that I had planned to say
Okay.
first was a plea to the court has been submitted, along with a motion to dismiss without prejudice the said charges. What is your answer to these lawful affidavits filed? As a civilian, I have rights to subrogation and equity. That's the first thing I plan to say. Because in my plea to the court, which Faatima should have gotten by now, but may not have gotten because I wanted her to send it to you, it was 11 or 10 points of law. One being I'm not a black and I'm not Negro, as the record reflects. I am not a black or a Negro. And I cited the William Dungy case as it relates to that. Number two, I am not a citizen of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania because I've never filed documentation to validate that through the naturalization laws of the United States. So I can't be considered, and I talked about Dred Scott case.
Right.
I also talked about me being a foreign national, Moorish American national, and I also talked about the treaty as it relates to Article 20 and 21. Intercourses between us can only happen based on those two articles. So among other things that I put in the plea, and attached to that plea was a motion to dismiss without prejudice based on the plea that they didn't have jurisdiction, and these 10 or 11 points outline why.
You
So
should have
that's
put
why
with
the first
prejudice.
thing I talk about,
You should have put with prejudice, not without.
With?
Yeah, with.
With or with? I can't recall which one it was.
Huh?
I'm confused. I get them confused. With
It's all right. You can get there and say I made a mistake and edit it and tell them with prejudice.
It's with prejudice.
Meaning they can't come back. Without meaning, yeah. Yeah, just tell them it's a mistake, no problem. And, just fix it. But yeah, basically you're starting from the, basically, let me go inside my RV real quick because I'm out here by these truckers. You hear all these trucks, right? Yeah. Hold on.
Faatima, did you like what I just said? I was going to say a plea to the court to submit it along with the motion to dismiss with prejudice. I wanted to make the correction for the record. They said charge 227. Okay. And then I'm a civilian. Right. So I was going to start with that and see how they answer that.
Right. I like it.
And then if I get nowhere with that, well, you're giving me additional information. If I get nowhere with that, pursuant to Article 1 of the treaty.
I'm back.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, basically, you have war criminals talking to you like you're supposed to be still dumb, like they've been treating everybody.
Right.
You're not coming
we're
in
not,
there.
and we need to move past that piece, yes.
Right. You coming in there, letting them know you own this land. You're the ruler of the land, and your bloodline is not theirs. They're foreign, and they're sitting on the bench basically pretending to be Moors. Only nobles can sit there. So as you sit there,
and this is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. As I sit there, what?
As you're standing or talking to them, you're telling them there is a problem here where you're a citizen. Okay? Citizens can't live here, have a job here. But you're sitting there pretending to be a noble. Only, like I'm saying, only you can be a noble. I mean, only you can sit there. And you can only talk from your treaty. You can't really use case law.
Statutes or codes or case law, right? Which is why I only want to talk about 2021 of the treaty. Since you're being in dishonor, and the record reflects that because you've ignored every other pre-established affidavit. What offer do you have on the table?
You want to talk about 14. Article 14.
Huh?
You want to talk about Article 14. You want to talk about.
Okay, keep in mind you're making an assumption they're going to allow me to put all this on the record.
Right. I'm telling you what I need you to say if you do get that opportunity. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You said you cited Article 21 and 20. I'm saying you need to cite Article 14. Because Article 14.
I thought you were talking about, Article 14. What's that one? What one is that?
That's the treaty of dealing with commerce. You see, the treaty is only about commerce.
I've been getting my mail.
The treaty is only about commerce. It's not about nothing else. They're holding you on something outside of the law. Okay.
Right.
So when you bring in the treaty to them, you're saying, well, look, we're talking about money here, right? Because you're talking about the treaty. And in the treaty, it discusses the European, which is the citizen, and the Moors. And when you look at Article 14, it says the commerce with citizens, you know, is basically saying the commerce, the United States citizens can only do commerce here. See?
Islam.
And if they're doing
They
anything
can't create an established court to subject the nationals to it. Yes.
yeah, well, they can't live here. They can't have a job here. They can't be doctors or nothing. They can't attend schools. Nothing. That's what Article 14 is saying. The treaty was made to make sure that only indigenous people can live here on this land. Over 1 million miles square, only indigenous people can live here. The treaty is there for the protection of the Europeans as they travel throughout 7 seas to do commerce with our other lands. And they're protected. That's it. And they got to be traveling with the flags properly. Other than that,
Islam.
they don't have nothing. So when they're talking to you like, I'm a judge, well, you say, well, look, hold up, aren't you a citizen? They say, yeah, well, aren't you a traitor as well? Didn't you become a bar member? Because all bar members are British and they're traitors. So they relinquish their citizenship if once they become a bar member. You know that. So here they are sitting up there, really dictating.
But this whole talk we're talking now.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, this whole. I'm with you with everything you're saying.
I know.
In fact, the reality is tomorrow I want to go home.
I want you to go home.
I've been sitting here for a year and a half, and I had the thoughts based on how they were perceiving you, King, that they were going to comply to that order. And basically where we're at today, they're still being belligerent. They're not upholding anything that we put in the record thus far, even what has been placed in the record for 24, 48 hours.
Right.
But we don't know. So that's why what I said in the beginning is giving them a chance to say what needs to be said first before, under threat, duress, and coercion, we do what? No contest? Time served? I can't do probation because I'm not a citizen of the Commonwealth. So the 3 years of probation I cannot do.
Everything they have before
and
you.
I can't do another day. And I can't do another day here.
I feel you. I know what it's like.
And you've had a deal on the table for over 6 months that you've never displayed to me or showed to me.
Yep. That's what.
And I want to get out of this facility. I don't want to sit here for 3, 4, 5, 6 whole months additional and have 3 more fucking status hearings because all they want is jurisdiction. I don't need a counsel. I already have counsel. I'll plead no contest, time served. That's it. That's all. Nothing else.
Okay.
And then I'll take this case to the federal district where it will be thrown out.
Here's the problem.
Which I know because they can't do anything else but throw it out. And then I'll put my civil suit in for all the time and all the pain and all the loss I've suffered.
Correct.
In all of this.
But you're still going to the same traitors, federal court and all. They're the same people. That's why Joseph Biden is a defendant. You see?
Yes, you told Biden as a defendant.
Yeah.
What court are we submitting that through?
To your court. Your Article 21 is the only court you can use.
Right. So I'm saying when I go into the tribunal, this is Article 21, and I'm holding you accountable when I'm sitting here unlawfully in a facility trying to get out of it?
I understand what you're talking about and doing. You're in a trap. I already know you're human traffic.
I'm in a big ass trap.
That's right. You're human traffic, and they're trying not to let you get away from them. They'll let you know. Go ahead.
And my children are not here, and they want me to come home.
I want you to come home. Everybody wants you home.
I don't think everybody wants me home. The people that I know want me home are my 3 children. And Faatima, Yasmin, El-Basir Beg, and Tahir. Outside of that, I don't know because I get so much fucking combative information and debatable information, and I've been sitting here for a year and a half, and nobody has come prior to today, yesterday, a week ago, to help me or to help Faatima. So I can't like rope them in concerning.
I relate to you. I got you. I know that. Look, when I was in prison, I had a girlfriend that was in Hawaii. She didn't write me. I get ready to come out maybe a month or 6 months before I come out.
Then all of a sudden she's on your butt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
I know how that works.
I said, oh, hell no.
That's how it is. Because now they want to save face because they feel guilty for abandoning you. Yes, I know.
And but I know what you're talking about. So I want you home.
So I want to go home tomorrow.
I'll do whatever it takes. And we'll
so under threat, duress, or coercion, if I have to do a no contest for threat, duress, and coercion and bang them at the federal or the international level, I'll wait any more that wants to do that because that's where I'm going next.
Your law is
for everything that I've done. Huh?
Your law is international law.
I know, but they're not abiding by it now.
They're holding on to their fake court as hard as they can because they know they're
holding on to their illusion.
Yeah, they're caught, and we're gonna get them.
Right.
Got Joe.
Yes, but I don't want to sit here anymore. I want to do it free of movement. I want to be able to go down to talk to Biden and be like, "You need to stop."
Get out.
In his face.
Get out at any cost. Okay.
I'm at that point because they're dishonor and they're treasonous, and if they're dishonors and traitors and treasonous, nothing I do, nothing anymore has done thus far are they conceding to.
That's right. That's why you have to hold your own.
They're not conceding to the law. They're not conceding to the law. You gave them all of it. You sat on the phone with William for how long? And I know after he got off the phone with you, sat with Jack Stolingsteiner, Heather Hayes, and Capelli.
I called Jack.
But yeah, I still hear. Huh?
I called Jack. I sent them an email, told them I had an order. They won't respond. See?
Exactly my point. They're not responding at this point.
And I know your frustration. Like I say, tomorrow, do whatever it takes to get out. I don't care if you get the 3-year probation or whatever. We're going to fix all that because they don't have no right.
Gotta fix it. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk, like, I don't know, I don't have contact with anybody, Faatima. This is for you, Faatima. This is for you, King, William David.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what we're willing to accept. That's it. But it's under threat, duress, or coercion, and we're reserving our rights because we are going to sue you for not doing any of this when you should have done it a long time ago.
Okay. This is the thing about where they're not giving in, and you need to give in, right? But they don't have no rights to do what they're doing. So, like I say, tomorrow,
none.
I feel for you. Like you say, you assuming that we're going to be in the presence of these crooks, and now you're saying they might not give you a chance to talk or whatever. And
exactly. I might only be able to say, like I said, I'll plead to the court. What is your answer? As a civilian, I have a right to subrogation and equity.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to continue to ignore all of these lawful facts that has been presented to you by this foreign national, I'll only plead to no contest, time served. That's it.
Okay, so you know about
papers. I'll sign them.
You know about Article 6, where it talks about the treaties are the supreme law of the land, right?
Say it again.
You know about the treaties being the supreme law of the land pursuant to Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution.
Yes, I do know that.
And you know about the end part of the sentence where if it's contrary notwithstanding, meaning they can't use nothing else, correct?
They can't hold it against you, so I can sign this agreement, and they can't hold it against
me
because something
that's
within it.
That's not what it's
saying.
Okay, what? What is it? What's it saying? Is saying nobody can, since the supreme law of the land is the treaty, nobody can bypass the treaty or use anything contrary. So,
right.
So when you're talking to them as judicial officers are all bound. When you see us talking about being bound, they're bound to the moor.
Yes.
So you want to ask them tomorrow about Article 6, Paragraph 2 and 3, and plus they owe you money pursuant to Paragraph 1. So when you attend in these courts, you're saying you owe us some money because it's all about money. So if you get distracted and talk about everything else, you're saying, hey, we have a treaty here and it's about money. You owe me some money.
Yeah, and I already put a bill of entitlement in. It's for $9,041,000.
Okay, but I'm saying
and it was. Go ahead.
I got you. I'm just saying the basic. I don't know none of your paperwork, but the basic theory is that you have a constitution to uphold. That's what you want to tell this judge. Yep. The treaty and the Constitution are not. How can I say the statutes and codes, as you know, are not constitutional. They bypass my birthrights. You want to talk about your birthrights because this is all you have. They want to bypass your birthrights and throw you into the statutes and codes of birthrights, which has nothing. It's nothing but the Wizard of Oz. It's smoke screen. So when you start from your birthright, you're saying what their birthrights are. What makes them have more power over you is the trick. So you're saying, well, look, you're a United States citizen and you're a traitor in all these things you want to say. Put it on the record. And you're saying you're holding me against my will. You're on my land. And you got proof to show that you own over 1 million miles square, and this land is ruled by women. So here these people are now. They know what you're talking about, but they don't want to, like you say, succumb to being ruled by so-called black people. That's what they're afraid of. So they're doing their best to hold you in their form of fake government. But we're not going for it. You know. So do your best. That's all I know. And I want you home. I wouldn't spend no time with you unless I want you home. Okay? And I hurt for you deeply. You sound far away.
Maybe I'm not far away, but
okay.
I'm just tired. I want to go home. And
man, you don't have to tell me.
We've thrown everything. But I think we got like a couple of minutes. I want to talk to Faatima before this phone call clicks off.
I'll hang up.
So I guess I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow after this lovely event. I'll call it an
after she's released.
Okay, tell him you got a counsel that made a notice of appearance and you want him to do a conference call. My phone number is on it.
You want what? When I go down to the tribunal?
Yeah. What time is your hearing?
I don't have any information as it relates to you. It starts at 9 o'clock, but it's no telling what time they'll call.
Okay.
What time they'll call me down there. So I don't know. I could be sitting down there for a minute. I'll be sitting down there for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Been there, done that.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, do your best to try to have them to call me. I'll answer the phone and I'll speak because I'm definitely listening.
Okay, I'll get that information from. Did you put a notice of appearance in for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. For him as well?
No, for you.
Yes.
So on your behalf.
Okay.
I work for you.
Okay, so then I'll make sure. Okay, thank you. Then I'll make sure. And on that notice of appearance, your contact information is on there, right?
Yes,
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Have 1
Yes.
minute.
I'll talk with you.
Faatima, can I call you back?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So
right.
if the contact information is on the notice of appearance, then they're required to fucking contact you and let you know that I'm up to court today and the shit didn't tell you.
Yeah, because I need to argue.
No.
Okay.
Exactly. They should have done that. And that's the whole purpose of a notice of appearance, right?
Yeah, you had a huge disadvantage without counsel. Huge.
Oh, you think I don't know that? That's why I put everything in the record.
There you go.
Because I know I'm not going to have a time to speak in these 5-minute tribunals. They're 5 minutes.
We'll get them.
So I put my lawful documents in response to the fact that I'm not being heard when I'm in that tribunal.
We need to build our clans up. And that's what we were talking about earlier, okay? We'll get you.
Yes, Islam. We need to. I've been trying to do that for like 2 years prior to me coming in here.
It's about to happen.
More is very, very stuff.
Thank you for using Global Tel.
All right, Faatima.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to get her out. I know she's so frustrated.
Yep.
Islam. Tell Tahir Islam.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I think about it every day. Every day.
Me too.
I know you do. You got those siblings there. And it's a hurting thing. We're going to get these lawyers and judges. They're dirty and so low down, man. It's like she's saying they locking her by bypassing her birthrights. Now they're using these statutes and codes and won't let her talk about her birthrights. She has to know how to lock them out. It's all about birthrights and money that they owe. That's where she got to start. You owe me money. You human trafficking me. And they'd be like, oh, my God. And in this treaty, I don't know how well she knows it, but that's her ammunition. That's her voice. And being that she's locked up, you know it's only a pen and piece of paper, and she's got you the lifeline. With, you know what I mean? You're her lifeline to the outside. I don't know how many other people, but you know, you're highly vital and important to the whole scene. So I commend you for being there for, you know, holding down her children underneath this huge crisis. And these people,
Yeah,
they need the guillotine. They're going to get it.
they did.
Okay?
Yep. Karma's a mug, ain't it?
Huh? What
I
did you
said
say?
karma is a mug, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know, back east, you know, they say payback
Yes.
to the bitch. that was the thing.
He has no filter.
Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely going to get her.
Yeah.
I might be a little slow at what I'm doing to go, come and get her because they're already in their process. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get it. But, no, yeah, I hear you. But, you know, I'm just like, teamwork is what it's going to take now. And I know.
Teamwork makes, as my concert always tells us, teamwork make that dream work. Hold on, let me click her on.
Okay.
This is a prepaid call from
Sharon, Tracey,
an inmate at the Delaware County Correctional Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is $22.78. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. The mental and physical health of our resident inmates is important to us. If at any time during this phone call the resident inmate expresses a desire to attempt self-harm or attempt suicide, please alert the facility by calling 610-361-3385. Again, the number is 610-361-3385. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.